What's up guys? Hope you guys are doing good. What I'm going to be talking about in this video is this Panasonic GH3. I did a community post asking which should be the next video, the GH3 or the 80D, and they're pretty much neck and neck. So I think this week I'll do videos about both, or maybe this week and next week I'll do videos about both. What I'd like to do is talk about how I got this, what I had to do to it, and then set it up for video and do some talking head video with it. So let's take a quick look at this GH3. Okay, so the Panasonic GH3, it's a great little camera. I'm not gonna go into all the specs. There's 1,000 videos out there about the specs with this camera. And it's a micro 4/3 sensor, which is ridiculous to explain. It has to do with TV tubes. And you guys know by now that I have a little bit of an eBay problem. So I was on eBay and I saw this one for parts and repair, and the guy said make an offer, and it came with 2 lenses. He didn't put the lenses in the listing. He didn't take any photos of it. But the area that it needed repair was the screen, the LCD swivel screen. You can see it's cracked right there. I'm not gonna replace that. What actually had happened, the screw for the hinge had came off right there, and it's actually a really easy fix. And I knew that from the last GH3 that I had. Basically, you just need a little screwdriver set. Now I've got one from messing with computers, and you can take the back of this camera off. Be really careful not to undo the ribbon cables, and then you can just tighten the hinge up and it's good as new. And this thing had stickers all over the back. It had electrical tape all over it, but I was able to get it fixed. I've shot a little bit with it, and then one of the lens was one of those Mikey 35mm manual focus lenses. It was just not even worth messing with. I ended up just throwing it away. The aperture blades were broke. And then the other lens that I got was a 7 Artisans f2.8 7.5mm fisheye, which is not what's on there now. I actually have had this 14mm for a long time. It's got a stiff manual focus, but that's the only issue with it. So kind of a broken camera, but I just wanted to show you guys what the GH3 looked like. It doesn't have focus peaking, it doesn't have in-body image stabilization, but it does have a bunch of tools that a good camera has. So let me set my white balance really quick, and we'll switch over to the GH3 because my T3i battery is going dead. But it does have that feature, which is pretty nice. And what I'm going to be shooting in today on this one, standard, I think I have it in just regular standard. I'll put the saturation back up just for this one. So just regular old standard. And I've got it set in MOV, and then I'm going to be shooting the 50 megabits per second, 24 frames per second, 1080. This camera doesn't have 4K either. The GH4 had 4K. I actually like the footage from the GH3 better than the GH4. I have a GH4 body right now that I'm also probably going to sell on eBay, and I'll probably keep this GH3. I like this camera pretty good, but let's switch over to it now. Okay, and then this is the GH3, again, standard color profile, nothing special. I'm not color grading anything in this video. Custom white balance, 1080, 24, nothing crazy. Yeah, I'm thinking about holding on to this one. After I got that LCD screen tightened up, I was like, man, this is kind of a killer deal, especially with that 7.5 f2.8 lens. I could probably sell that for about 75 bucks on eBay. So realistically, I could have about 75 bucks in this camera, which is pretty nuts. You know, you guys know I like cheap stuff. So I'll probably hold on to this one. I don't think I could replace it for 75 bucks, but it's a really good video camera. It's a really good talking head camera. It does have some downsides. This one, the preamps are pretty rough on. This was a pretty well used camera. So there's really no telling what the thing's been through. It's beat up. These have a magnesium body, so they're pretty tough, and it's not missing all the covers, but the outside of it was just beat all to pieces. They had electrical tape covering portions of it, which I don't understand. Not gaffer's tape, but electrical tape, so it's sticky all over, even though I've wiped it down a bunch. But if it was in mint condition, the cons would be, it's got some pretty bad aliasing or moire. It's moire, not aliasing. It's got some pretty bad moire with tight patterns. So I'll wear a lot of those, like the gym shirts, the cheap, kind of like the rash guard shirts. I wear those, and when you wear those, it like produces a pattern across it the entire video. Not the biggest deal. It also doesn't have good continuous autofocus in video. How I'm finding focus today is I'm just in single point. I'm just reaching up, hitting my shutter. 14 mil on this would be 28 millimeters full frame. So it's still a pretty wide field of view at, 14 millimeter f2.5. This thing doesn't have great low light performance either, but I really don't need really good low light performance. But I know it's got no stabilization, but let's just take it on a little walk. And one thing I forgot to mention too is I've got a diffusion filter on the front of this. This is one of the K&F Concepts. I think I have the 1/4 on the GH3. But this is also one that you could slap on a gimbal. Again, this is handheld. It's a little tight at 14 millimeters, but I still think, for a beater camera, for the kind of the stuff that I like to do, this is gonna be a great addition to my kit or my hoard really at this point. So look for some in-depth videos on shooting with the GH3 in the near future. I just really wanted to get this out and test this camera. Again, the preamps on this one are pretty bad. I think this thing's had a rough life. So all of this audio has been from my Zoom H1N. I think that just about covers it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. This was a little bit of a nerdy video. I'll see you guys later.